Hello, good day. So today I will explain on how did I solve the summation notation that given to us, which is here. The summation of 14 times x sub n squared plus 7x sub n minus 14 as n goes to 1 goes from 1 to 10 minus 4 the summation of the square root of 3x sub n minus 1 as n goes from 7 to 10 minus the summation of x sub n over 4x sub n minus 1 as n goes from 1 to 2. So the first thing I did is I distribute it one by one. So here first, then second, then third. So asking here is n from 1 to 10. So 4 times x sub 1 is squared plus 7x sub 1 minus 14 plus 14 times x sub 2 is squared plus 7x sub 2 minus 14 plus 14 times x sub 3 squared plus 7x sub 3 minus 14 plus 14 times x sub 4 squared plus 7x sub 4 minus 14 plus 14 times x sub 5 squared plus 7x sub 5 minus 14 plus 14 times x sub 6 squared plus 7x sub 6 minus 14 plus 14 times x sub 7 squared plus 7x sub 7 minus 14 plus 14 times x sub 8 squared plus 7x sub n minus 14 plus 14 times x sub 9 squared plus 7x sub 9 minus 14 plus 14 times x sub 10 squared plus 7x sub 10 minus 14. Then the next one is here. So as here is n goes from 7 to 10, so we start at 7. So minus 4 the square times the square root of 3x sub 7 minus 1 minus 4 multiplied by the square root of 3x sub 8 minus 1 minus 4 multiplied by the square root of 3x sub 9 minus 1 minus 4 multiplied by the square root of 3x sub 10 minus 1. And the last one is here, as here is n goes from 1 to 2, so we start at 1 minus x sub 1 over 4x sub 1 minus 1 minus x sub 2 over 4x sub 2 minus 1. So the next thing that I did is I substitute what is as here the x sub 1 to 10, which is this. The given value of x sub 1 to 10 is here. X sub 1 is equal to 8, x sub 2 is equal to 2, x sub 3 is equal to 6, x sub 4 is equal to negative 8, x sub 5 is equal to 15, x sub 6 is equal to 7, x sub 7 is equal to 14, x sub 8 is equal to negative 9, x sub 9 is equal to negative 10, and x sub 10 is equal to negative 3. So substitute 14 times x sub 1 is equal to 8 square root of 8. So x sub 1 is 8 minus 14 plus 14. Then x sub 2 is equal to 2. X sub plus 7 x sub 2. So becomes 7 times 2. Next, x sub 3 is equal to 6. So substitute to 6. Same thing here 7 x sub 3 is equal to 7 times 6. Next one, x sub 4 is equal to negative 8. So substitute square root of negative 8 plus 7 times negative 8 minus 14 plus 14. Let's go. The next is x sub 5. So the x sub 5 is equal to 15. So 14 times the square root of 15 plus 7 times 15 minus 14. Next one is x sub 6. So the value of x sub 6 is 7. So square root of 7 plus 7 times 7 minus 14 plus 14. Next is the square root of next is x sub 7, which the value is 14. So 14 is squared plus 7 times 14 minus 14 plus 14. Next one is x sub 8. So x sub 8 is equal to negative 9 squared plus 7 minus negative times negative 9 rather, minus 14 plus. Next one is x sub 9. Here, substitute negative 10 squared plus 7 times negative 10 minus 14. And the last one is the x sub 10, which equal to negative 3. So, substitute 14 times negative 3 squared plus 7 times negative 3 minus 14. So, next is here, which start at x sub 7, which the value is 14. So, minus 4 times the square root of 3 times 14 minus 1 minus 4. Next is x sub 8, so negative 9. So, the square root of 3 times negative 9 minus 1 minus 4. Next is x sub 9, which is negative 10. So, minus 4, the square root of 3 times negative 10 minus 1. And last is negative 3. X sub 10 is equal to negative 3. So, substitute minus 4 times the square root of 3 times negative 3 minus 1. And the next one is here, x sub 1 is equal to 8. So, 8. So, 4 times 8 here. X sub 2 is equal to 2. So, 2, 4 times 2. Next one is solve here. The square root of 8 is equal to 64. 7 times 8 is equal to 56. Copy the 14 plus 14. The square root of 2 is equal to 4. 7 times 2 is 14 minus 14. 14, the square root of 6 is 36. 7 times 6 is 42 minus 14 plus 14. The square root of negative 8 is equal to 6. Positive 64 because positive times positive. Negative times negative is equal to positive. And here, 7 times negative 8 is equal to negative 56, which the rule is positive times negative is equal to positive minus 14 plus 14. The square root of 15 is 225. 7 times 15 is 105 minus 14 plus 14. Square root of 7 is 49. Same time, 7 times 7 is equal to 49. 2 minus 14 plus 14. The square root of 14 is 196. 7 times 14 is 98 minus 14 plus 14. The square root of negative 9 is 81. 7 times negative 9 is also negative 63 minus 14. 14 plus 14. The square root of negative 10 is 100. 7 times negative 10 is 70 minus 14 plus the square root of negative 3 is 9. 7 times 3 is negative 3 is equal to negative 21 minus 14 minus 4. 3 times 14 is 3 times 14 minus 1 is equal to 41. Square root minus 4. The square root of 3 times negative 9 is equal to 27 minus 8 is equal to negative 28. So, negative 4. 3 times negative 10 is equal to negative 30 minus 1 is equal to negative 31. 3 times negative 3 is equal to 9 minus 1 is equal to negative 10. 4 times 8 is equal to 32. 4 times 2 is equal to 8. Next one I did is I combine all the numbers inside the parentheses. So 64 plus 56 minus 14 is equal to 106 plus 14. 4 plus 14 minus 14 is equal to 4 plus 14. 36 plus 42 minus 14 is equal to 64 plus 14. 64 minus 56 minus 14 is equal to negative 6 plus 14. 25 plus 105 minus 14 is equal to 316. 14 plus 14. 49 plus 49 minus 14 is equal to 84. 196 plus 98 minus 14 is equal to 280. 81 minus 16 minus 14 is equal to 4. 100 minus 17 minus 14 is equal to 16. 9 minus 21 minus 14 is equal to negative 26. And here, the square root of 41 is 1681. The square root of negative 28 is 784. The square root of negative 31 is 961, and the square root of negative 10 is 100. While here I did is cross multiplication because we will minus the fraction to the whole number, so I did here is cross multiplication, which I put a denominator of 1 here same as the numerator. So negative 32 minus times negative 1 is equal to positive 32. So negative 8 times negative 1 is equal to 8. Same thing as here, cross multiplication, negative 8 times negative 1 is equal to 8, positive 8, and negative 2 times negative 1 is equal to positive 2. And then the next thing that I did is multiply it all. So 14 times 106 is equal to 1484. 14 times 4 is equal to 56. 14 times 64 is equal to 896. 14 times negative 6 is equal to negative 84. 14 times 316 is equal to 4424. 14 times 84 is equal to 1176. 14 times 280 is equal to 3920. 14 times 4 is equal to 56. 14 times 16 is equal to 224. 14 times negative 26 is equal to negative 364. Negative 4 times 1681 is equal to negative 6724. Negative 4 times 784 is equal to negative 3136. Negative 4 times 961 is equal to negative 3844. Negative 4 times 100 is equal to negative 400. And here division, I did division. 32 divided by 8 is equal to 4, and 8 divided by 2 is equal to 4 also. And then the last thing that I do is combine it all, and the overall answer that I got is negative 2308. That's how I solve the summation notation problem that given to us. Thank you.